She goes, this is where nothing Caitlin Clark does or says is enough for these people. And this is why Caitlin Clark just shouldn't even say nothing else about it. Let it be.
But there's group, one group who will absolutely love what she said, and that's the racist. Because it's not what she said, it's what she didn't say. She didn't call them out.
There is a brutal, undeniable reality about the WNBA establishment that they desperately try to hide from every single person paying attention. Caitlin Clark, the player who saved their league, who brought them private jets and national television deals and sold out arenas for the first time in 16 years, just got ranked as the 11th best guard in the sport by her own peers. 11th. After she finished 4th in scoring, 2nd in assists, and led Indiana to the highest team scoring average the league has seen since 2008. For 9 days, Caitlin Clark stayed silent while critics attacked her character, questioned her intentions, and demanded she denounce her own fanbase in the most specific, explicit terms possible. And when she finally spoke out addressing officiating, calling for better technology, condemning hate and harassment, the response from a loud, angry faction of players and media was immediate and absolute. Nothing she said was enough. Nothing she will ever say will be enough. But that era of silence just ended because Colin Cowherd just went on national television and said what the mainstream sports media has been too terrified to admit out loud. Welcome back. This is Court Vision Central. And today, we are documenting the exact moment the WNBA jealousy problem got exposed on live television by one of the biggest voices in sports media. And why Caitlin Clark needs to stop trying to win over people who will never, ever give her credit.
Caitlin Clark, on a vote by WNBA players, was voted the 11th best guard in the sport.
Like, it's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. Yo, the hate is so nasty. It's like, yo, all we can do, we're laughing at y'all at this point. Y'all are such goofballs and clowns. We're literally laughing at y'all at this point.
Fans ranked her second. Media ranked her third. WNBA players voted her as the 11th best guard.
Before we get into what Colin Cowherd said, and trust me, you need to hear this with your own ears, I need you to understand the context that the establishment has been deliberately hiding from you. Caitlin Clark spent 9 days off social media. 9 days. While a civil war erupted around her name, while former players called her complicit, while commentators demanded she call out racism in the most explicit, profanity-laced language imaginable, while her own teammates stayed silent, while the league office, the same people who built an entire marketing campaign around her face, refused to defend her. And during those 9 days, Caitlin Clark did not post, did not tweet, did not release a statement. She let her PR team construct something safe, something that would check the boxes without actually saying what the loudest voices were demanding she say. And when she finally came out and spoke, she talked about investing in officiating. She talked about treating referees better and paying them like full-time employees. She talked about better technology to help them make the right calls. She condemned hate and harassment. She acknowledged that the media was taking the story in angles that were hurting the league. Most people heard that statement and thought it was great, thoughtful, measured, exactly what a leader should say. But there was one group, one very loud, very influential group that heard what Caitlin Clark did not say. And that group has spent the last 72 hours making sure everyone knows that her words were not enough, that she is complicit, that she is protecting racists by refusing to call them out by name. I have been covering this story for 3 weeks now, and I am telling you nothing Caitlin Clark does will ever satisfy these people. Ever. And the proof just dropped on national television.
Year anniversary poster, knowing apparently they can't put Caitlin on it because of some contractual deal, and they still go with it, knowing they're going to get crucified for doing it. Like, don't put the poster out if you knew going in you couldn't use her likeness. Like, don't do it. I mean, I respect, people are saying, you guys in the media don't respect the league. No, I respect the players. I think the quality of play is excellent. I respect the women. I respect the work ethic. I respect the coaching. I think the officiating's bad, but I can't respect the league.
Let me walk you through the receipts. Caitlin Clark has spent her entire rookie season doing everything the old guard said she should do. She spoke out for black players. She praised the legends who built the league before she got there. She advocated for higher pay across the board, not just for herself, but for role players, for benchwarmers, for everyone. She pushed the league to put teams on private jets instead of flying commercial. She tried to get players more money before the new collective bargaining agreement even kicked in. She used her platform to elevate her teammates. She deferred to veterans. She took hard fouls without complaining. She absorbed criticism without clapping back. And what did she get in return? 11th. 11th best guard in the league according to a vote by WNBA players. Let that sink in for a second. Fans ranked her second. Media ranked her third. But the players, the people who share the court with her, who watch her drop 21 points and 8 assists per game, who see her hit 3 3-pointers a night and run an offense that scores 94 points per game for the first time in 16 years, those players ranked her 11th. Kelsey Mitchell is above her on that list. Marina Mabrey is above her. Players who do not initiate offense the way Caitlin does. Players who do not distribute the ball the way Caitlin does. Players who are not the primary reason their team has the highest scoring average in over a decade. And I want to be entirely clear with you, this is not about disrespecting Kelsey Mitchell or Marina Mabrey. Both of them are excellent players. But if you are telling me that either of them had a bigger impact on winning basketball games this season than Caitlin Clark, you are lying. You are lying to protect your ego, or you are lying because you resent the attention she gets, or you are lying because you cannot stand the fact that a white rookie from Iowa became the face of your league overnight. This is not analysis. This is spite. And Colin Cowherd just called it out.
She goes, this is where nothing Caitlin Clark does or says is enough for these people. And this is why Caitlin Clark just shouldn't even say nothing else about it. Let it be.
But there's one group who will absolutely love what she said. And that's the racist. Because it's not what she said, it's what she didn't say. She didn't call them out.
Now, before I show you what Colin said, I need to show you the clip that set him off. Because this is where the mask came off. This is where one of Caitlin Clark's loudest critics admitted, on camera, with no shame, that Caitlin's statement was not enough because she did not use the exact words they wanted her to use. Watch this.
Caitlin Clark, on a vote by WNBA players, was voted the 11th best guard in the sport.
Like, it's got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. Yo, the hate is so nasty. It's like, yo, all we can do, we're laughing at y'all at this point. Y'all are such goofballs and clowns. We're literally laughing at y'all at this point.
Fans ranked her second. Media ranked her third. WNBA players voted her as the 11th best guard.
She said it with cameras rolling. After Caitlin Clark spent 9 days being attacked, after she finally released a statement condemning hate and calling for unity, this commentator went on television and said that Caitlin's words were not enough because she did not call out racists specifically. Because she did not say, and I am quoting here, "Hey, you racist, you bigoted, you homophobic motherfuckers, get the fuck out of our league." Let me say that back to you in case you missed it. Caitlin Clark is being accused of protecting racists because she condemned hate and harassment in general terms instead of using profanity-laced, explicit call-outs that would have made her look unhinged on national television. That is the standard. That is what is being demanded of her, not thoughtful leadership, not measured condemnation, not calls for systemic change. No. She is being told that unless she performs anger in the exact way her critics want her to perform it, she is complicit. And the reason this commentator is so confident saying this out loud is because she knows a significant portion of the WNBA fanbase will agree with her. She knows that no matter what Caitlin says, there will always be someone ready to move the goalposts. There will always be someone ready to say it was not specific enough, not loud enough, not soon enough. This is not about accountability. This is about control. This is about making sure Caitlin Clark knows that her success is conditional, that her acceptance is conditional, that no matter how many records she breaks or how many fans she brings to the league, she will always be on probation. And Colin Cowherd just said what millions of people have been thinking but were too afraid to say out loud.
Year anniversary poster, knowing apparently they can't put Caitlin on it because of some contractual deal, and they still go with it, knowing they're going to get crucified for doing it. Like, don't put the poster out if you knew going in you couldn't use her likeness. Like, don't do it. I mean, I respect, people are saying, you guys in the media don't respect the league. No, I respect the players. I think the quality of play is excellent. I respect the women. I respect the work ethic. I respect the coaching. I think the officiating's bad, but I can't respect the league.
Let me show you what Colin said when he saw the WNBA players rank Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard in the sport, because this is not just about one ranking. This is about a pattern of behavior that has been building for months, a pattern of resentment, a pattern of gatekeeping, a pattern of punishing success because it came from the wrong person. Watch this. He is laughing. Colin Cowherd, a guy who has covered professional sports for 30 years, who has seen petty rivalries and locker room drama and media circuses, is laughing at how absurd this has become. He is not angry. He is not outraged. He is laughing because the jealousy is so transparent, so undeniable, that the only rational response at this point is to laugh at the people doing it. Caitlin Clark is 4th in the league in scoring, 2nd in assists. She is the #1 shooter, distributor, play initiator, and playmaker on a team that scores 94 points per game, the highest average in 16 years. And WNBA players voted her as the 11th best guard. 11th. Colin Cowherd is looking at those numbers and saying what every rational person is thinking. This has to be a joke. This has to be a joke, because if it is not a joke, then it is something much worse. It is a coordinated effort to diminish Caitlin Clark's accomplishments, because the people voting cannot stand the fact that she is the reason their league is relevant again. And I have been telling you this for weeks. I made a video 2 weeks ago breaking down the double standard Caitlin faces every single time she steps on the court. I made another video last week documenting how WNBA veterans have been icing her out in all-star votes, in media coverage, in locker room dynamics, and now we have the receipts, we have the player vote, we have Colin Cowherd on national television calling it petty, we have the proof that this is not in our heads, this is real, this is happening, and it is only getting worse. Now let me escalate this for you, because this is not just about one ranking or one press conference or one commentator's take. This is about a systematic failure by the WNBA establishment to protect the player who saved their league. Let me break this down into 4 passes, because every single layer of this story makes it worse. Pass 1, the tactical failure. When Caitlin Clark released her statement after 9 days of silence, the WNBA league office should have immediately backed her up. They should have released their own statement condemning the harassment she was receiving. They should have told the loudest voices attacking her to stand down. They should have reminded everyone that Caitlin Clark is the reason the league just signed a new media deal worth billions of dollars. But they did not. They stayed silent. They let her twist in the wind. They let the narrative become Caitlin did not say enough instead of Caitlin is being held to an impossible standard. That is not leadership, that is sabotage. Pass 2, the pattern of behavior. This is not the first time the WNBA establishment has hung Caitlin out to dry. When she got flagrant fouled by Chennedy Carter in June, the league waited 3 days to issue a statement. 3 days. When Angel Reese called her out in the media, the league said nothing. When Dijonai Carrington poked her in the eye and laughed about it on social media, the league said nothing. When the 30-year anniversary poster came out without Caitlin's face on it, even though she is the most recognizable player in the sport, the league blamed a contractual issue and moved on. 3 incidents, 4 incidents, 5 incidents. Every single time, Caitlin Clark paid the price while the people who should have been protecting her stayed silent. Pass 3. Enabler complicity. And it is not just the league office. It is the coaching staff. It is the front office in Indiana. It is the media members who cover the WNBA and refuse to call out the double standard because they are afraid of being labeled as part of the problem. When Stephanie White was hired as the head coach of the Indiana Fever, she should have been Caitlin's biggest advocate. She should have been the one telling the media to back off. She should have been the one shutting down the noise. But instead, we are hearing reports that Caitlin wants out, that she is frustrated with the organization, that she is tired of being the scapegoat every time something goes wrong, and every single one of those enablers, from the coaching staff to the front office to the league commissioners, stayed silent. Receipts coming. Pass 4. The cost to Caitlin Clark. Do you know what Caitlin has lost because of this? She has lost the ability to enjoy her rookie season. She has lost the ability to celebrate breaking records without being accused of stat padding. She has lost the ability to speak her mind without being told it is not enough. She has lost the ability to build genuine friendships with teammates because half the locker room resents her success. She has lost the ability to focus on basketball because every single week there is a new controversy she has to address. That is what Caitlin Clark's prime is being burned for. Not championships, not legacy, not joy. It is being burned so that jealous players can feel better about themselves and so that the WNBA establishment can avoid making the hard decisions that would actually protect her. And here is the receipt nobody on TV will play for you, because of what it proves about how deep this resentment actually runs. Colin Cowherd just said out loud what the WNBA does not want you to hear. He respects the players. He respects the work ethic. He respects the quality of play, but he cannot respect the league. He cannot respect the management. He cannot respect the pettiness. And he is not alone. Millions of fans feel the exact same way. They tune in to watch Caitlin Clark and they laugh at the rest of the league because of stuff like this. Because of the 11th place ranking. Because of the missing face on the anniversary poster. Because of the officiating that lets flagrant fouls slide. Because of the double standards that punish success and reward mediocrity. Colin Cowherd is not some fringe voice. He is not some random YouTuber. He is one of the most prominent sports commentators in the country, and he just went on national television and said the WNBA is petty, that the management is not very good, that the officiating is bad, that the league itself, not the players, not the work ethic, but the league as an institution does not deserve respect. And he is right. He is absolutely, undeniably right. And the fact that he had to say it tells you everything you need to know about how broken this situation has become. Now let me give you the verdict. Because this is where I am going to stake 5 predictions, 5 specific receipts-backed predictions that I want every single person watching this video to save and come back to. If I am wrong, roast me. If I am right, you owe me an apology in the comments. Prediction 1. Stephanie White will not be the head coach of the Indiana Fever by the start of the 2026 season. If Stephanie White is still in that role when training camp opens next year, I want every single person to come back and roast me in the comments. But I am telling you right now, Caitlin Clark is going to push for coaching change. The reports are already leaking. The frustration is already there. The front office is going to have to choose between keeping Stephanie White and keeping Caitlin Clark happy, and if they choose wrong, Caitlin is going to demand a trade. Save this clip. Prediction 2. Caitlin Clark is going to publicly distance herself from the WNBA establishment before the end of the calendar year. I am not saying she is going to trash the league. I am not saying she is going to burn bridges. But I am saying that within the next 6 months, Caitlin is going to make a move, whether it is a media appearance, a social media post, or a carefully worded statement that makes it clear she does not need the WNBA approval to be successful. She's going to build her own brand, she's going to align herself with people who actually support her, and she's going to stop trying to win over the haters. Watch the next 2 months. Prediction 3. The WNBA players who voted Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard are going to face massive backlash from fans, and the league is going to quietly bury that ranking and never reference it again. Meanwhile, Caitlin is going to win Rookie of the Year in a landslide, and the same players who ranked her 11th are going to have to sit there and watch her accept the award on national television. Watch the awards ceremony. Prediction 4. Mainstream sports media is going to start covering the WNBA Caitlin Clark problem the way Colin Cowherd just did. The story is going to break wide open when ESPN or The Athletic or Sports Illustrated runs the deep dive article they are already sitting on. The one that interviews former teammates. The one that talks to league insiders. The one that documents every single time the WNBA establishment failed to protect her. That article is coming, and when it drops, the narrative is going to shift overnight. Prediction 5. The Indiana Fever are going to make the playoffs next season, and Caitlin Clark is going to be the reason. And when they do, the same players who ranked her 11th, the same commentators who said her statement was not enough, the same establishment voices who stayed silent while she got attacked, all of them are going to try to take credit. They are going to say they always believed in her. They are going to say they always knew she was special. And I want you to remember this video when that happens. Mark this video, save this timestamp, because I am calling it right now. And let me end with this, because I know some of you watching this video are going to say I am being too harsh, that I am being unfair to the WNBA, that I am creating division where there does not need to be any. But let me be entirely clear with you. I respect the players. I respect the work ethic. I respect the grind. I respect what it takes to make it to the WNBA and to stay there. But I cannot respect an institution that punishes excellence. I cannot respect a league that lets jealousy dictate how it treats its biggest star. I cannot respect a system that demands Caitlin Clark perform anger in the exact way her critics want and then punishes her when she does not comply. Caitlin Clark is 4th in scoring, 2nd in assists, leading her team to the highest offensive output in 16 years, and WNBA players ranked her as the 11th best guard. That is not analysis. That is not honest evaluation. That is spite, that is resentment, that is jealousy. And Colin Cowherd just said it out loud on national television. And the fact that he had to be the one to say it, the fact that it took a mainstream sports commentator to call out what everyone watching has known for months, tells you everything you need to know about how broken the situation is. Caitlin Clark does not need to say anything else. She does not need to apologize. She does not need to perform for people who will never give her credit. She needs to go be great. She needs to keep breaking records. She needs to keep filling arenas. She needs to keep proving that she is the best player in the league no matter what the player vote says. And eventually, the people who are laughing at the WNBA right now are going to be proven right. Because the league had a generational talent drop into their laps. And instead of protecting her, they let the old guard tear her down. And that is going to be their legacy. Drop your most honest take in the comments. Is Caitlin Clark being held to an impossible standard by jealous players who resent her success, or is the criticism she is facing legitimate and necessary? Pick a side, defend it, and while you are down there, save this comment. I just staked 5 predictions. If I am right by the start of next season, come back and tell me. If I am wrong, roast me. I will own it. Tag the friend who keeps telling you Caitlin Clark is overrated. Make them watch this video and tell you they still believe it after hearing what Colin Cowherd just said on national television. And here's what is coming next. Tomorrow we are going to break down the latest reports about Caitlin's relationship with the Indiana front office and whether she is actually going to demand a trade before the 2026 season starts. If you are not subscribed, you are going to miss it. Hit the bell. This is Court Vision Central. We will see you in the next video.